Okay, today's notes are on special angles of a circle. So we have several different types of angles that are created within the circle. The first one is a central angle, and the measure of a central angle is equal to the intercepted arc. So here in my drawing here, you can see the central angle, and this red part here, the arc length, that's the intercepted arc. You can tell it's intercepted because if I extend my angle, the arc is inside the angle, so that's the intercepted arc. Okay, so how do we use this? Well, here's my arc length right here. That's 120 degrees, which means my angle here is also 120 degrees. They're equal. So the measure of the arc is equal to the measure of the central angle. And it also goes forwards and backwards. So if my central angle is 123 degrees, then the arc that's intercepted is also 123 degrees. Our next angle is called an inscribed angle. The measure of the inscribed angle is half the measure of the intercepted arc. So in my drawing here, I have angle BAC. That is my inscribed angle. It's inscribed because the vertex is on the circle. And BC is my intercepted arc. So I'm going to take that arc measure, half it, and that's going to be my angle measure. So over here in our example, this arc is 80 degrees. So I'm going to take 80 degrees and half it, and that's going to equal 40 degrees. So my angle A is 40 degrees. So it's half the intercepted arc. Here I have a triangle, and they want me to find out the arc here. Well, this is the inscribed angle, and since 42 is equal to half my question mark, then to reverse it, I would have to multiply both sides by 2. So multiplying by 2 gets rid of the half. Multiplying by 2 to keep it equal on both sides gives me 84. So my question mark, my arc, is 84 degrees. My next problem, they want me to find this arc here. I know this arc is 75, and this one I can find. If the measure of my inscribed angle is 95, then as you saw from the problem before, all I have to do is multiply it by 2, and that's the arc. So that gives me 190 degrees. That means from R all the way around to Q is 190 degrees. Well, I know a circle has 360 degrees. So 190 plus 75 gives me 265. And 360 minus 265, got to borrow, that gives me 5. Got to borrow, that gives me 15. That gives me 95 degrees. So my arc from S to Q is going to be 95 degrees. Then we have the angle formed by a tangent and a chord. And the tangent in the chord is going to be half the intercepted arc. Okay, so we take half of the measure of the arc, and they have arc ABC here. So given tangent HN here, y is 250 degrees, and I want to find x. Well, y is almost all the way around my circle, which means the rest of my circle is going to be 360 minus the 250. So that missing intercepted arc is 110 degrees. So from R to H, that's 110 degrees. And then the angle is half the intercepted arc. So half of 110 is 55 degrees. So the measure of angle X is 55 degrees. Okay, this time we're given the tangent, and I'm given the angle measure is 40 degrees, and I need to find y. Well, the arc is going to be double the angle. So 40 times 2 gives me 80. So my arc from K to L is 80 degrees. And then we have 360 degrees all the way around the circle, minus the 80 degrees of the intercepted arc. Got to borrow. And we get 280 degrees. Okay, so my arc from K all the way around through Y to L, that's going to equal 280 degrees. Intersecting chords. Okay, so here we have two chords that are intersecting. The angle formed by the two chords is going to be half the sum. Sum means to add. The intercepted arc. Okay, so here's the intercepted arc at ABC, and the intercepted arc of the vertical angle. Okay, remember vertical angles, they make that x. So we take the intercepted arc plus the intercepted arc of the vertical angle, add them together, and then we're going to take half. So our example here says, what is the measure of angle AEB and CED? Well, they're vertical angles, so they're going to be congruent. They tell us arc AB is 30 and arc CD is 25. So based on our formula, the angle is going to equal half of the first arc, 30, plus the second arc, 25. So the angle is going to add it to 1/2 of 55. And half of 55 is 27.5. So the angle is going to equal 27.5 degrees. And that's also going to be for the measure of angle CED because they're vertical angles. Now, on the back side, we may have to work a little backwards. They give us angle A. Angle A is 80 degrees, and they tell us arc HIJ is 70 degrees. Okay, well, I know that 80 degrees has to equal 1/2 of that arc, 70, plus the other arc. I don't know what the other arc is. I can go ahead and get rid of my half by multiplying by 2. And I get 160 degrees is equal to 70 plus x. And then I can subtract 70 from both sides, and I get 90. So the missing arc is going to be 90 degrees. So from KL to M is going to be 90 degrees. Okay, then we have angles formed by two tangents, two secants, and a tangent secant. So here's our two tangents. Here's our two secants. And here's our secant and a tangent. Now they all use the same formula. We're going to measure the angle is going to be half the difference of the intercepted arcs. Okay, so the intercepted arc on the two tangents, that's going to be ABC. We want to take the larger one, and then we're going to subtract the smaller one, ADC. So we're going to take the difference, subtract them, and then take half. Same thing here with the secant. The secant is intersecting at ABC and XYZ. Those are the intercepted arcs. We're going to subtract them and take half. And with our secant and tangent, we have the intercepted arc ABC, the larger one, and we're going to subtract XYC as well. So these have the same formula. Okay, for the examples, what is X? So they give us arc AC is 178, and they give us arc CH is 102. So that means I'm going to take 178, and I'm going to subtract 102, and I get 76 degrees, and then we're going to half it. So 76 divided by 2 is going to give me 38 degrees. So my X is equal to 38 degrees. Okay, so I took half of 178 minus 102. That gave me half of 76, which equaled 38. Okay, What is x with my two tangents? They gave me arc CAH is 205, and they gave me arc CH is 155. So again, I'm going to take half of the difference, so 205 minus 155. So I'm going to subtract those, and I get 50. So I'm going to take half of 50, and half of 50 is 25 degrees. So the measure of my angle here is 25 degrees. What is x? Here we have the two secants. They tell me ABC is 140 degrees and XYZ is 50 degrees. So again, I'm going to take half the difference of the arcs. So 140 minus 50, that's going to give me 90, and half of 90 is going to be 45 degrees. So the measure of angle x here is 45 degrees. I would really take time and consideration to write these down and write them as formulas on your math help sheet so that you can use them on the test. I would write down what each one of these are and how to solve it on a help math sheet. And we're done.